Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to another episode of Tim on Everything. It's been quite a while since I've got on here to talk to y'all. I'm about 130 miles away from my next destination, which is Bali, Indonesia. And yes, this is the Indian Ocean. Today is my fourth day of a 6-day passage by myself. My crew having to fly back to United Kingdom a few days ago. And what I want to talk about today is just that, crew. You're going to discover there's nothing more problematic than finding decent crew. Since I've been on my world passage in October 2018, I've had 8 different crew members on Intrepid. One of which I would sail again anytime. 2 of which I probably would sail with after we had some frank discussions on expectations. And 5 of whom I hope I never see again. Since I bought Intrepid in 2014, I've had 1 professional captain help me and my boys get Intrepid back to, at that time it was San Francisco, excuse me, after we just purchased the boat, and 24 other crew members to include the 8 that I just spoke about. And again, out of those 24, 3 I could think of I would sail with anytime. 5 I probably would sail with after I had some discussions on expectations, and 16 of which I hope that you got it, never see again. So I'm batting about 1/3. In other words, 1/3 of the people who I've had on this boat have been decent crew members, which means the other 2/3 have been pain. I'd rather have soloed. So that's what you're up against. Everybody thinks crew is so easy to find. They're not. Now, where do you find crew? Well, there are websites like Find a Crew and Crew Bay. There are all these rallies like the World Arc and Latitude 38 that you could go on there, find a crew section, and of course just posts on the bulletin board in different marinas and hostels. Most of the crew that you'll find or deal with are in fact backpackers. And most of these backpackers are of the attitude, well, I'm doing you a favor. I'm on your boat helping you, therefore it should be for free. Well, as you were just told, 2/3 of the supposedly I'm helping you backpackers, I wish I'd never had brought on the boat. They're not really helping you. In fact, they're a pain. So that's what you're up against. Looks like a boat out there. I haven't seen a boat in days. Anyways, what am I looking for when I do find these crew members? Well, one thing I'm looking for, of course, is a willingness to follow directions and a reasonable willingness to be an adventurer. Age doesn't matter. If you're a young millennial, you'll probably have countless hours spent debating the merits of multicultural feminism. If you're an older person, you'll probably have hours of having to listen to that person's condescending and arrogant comments about why you're doing everything wrong. Watch out for alcoholics. There's tons of alcoholics out there. Probably the worst crew member I ever had was an alcoholic who, after having gone through the 3 cases of beer he smuggled onto my boat on a passage from Fiji to New Zealand, went into full DTs. It turned out to be a solo trip for me, and worse than that, because now I'm on the radio with the New Zealand Coast Guard twice a day, trying to figure out what to do in case this guy, dies on me. I should have just thrown him overboard. Racers, oh my God. Just because you're a racer Well, put it this way. The only time I've ever broken anything on Intrepid was because of a racer who, yes, I understand things break, but on the other hand, things broke because I told this person countless times specifically not to do what he was doing, and he did it anyways, because, hey, I'm an arrogant racer. You can't tell me what to do. Jesus Christmas. Instructors. Yeah, you'll find I'm an instructor. I teach in my local sailing school in the Bay. Well, an Ocean Passage is not a sailing school in the Bay. In my opinion, the best crew members I've had are middle-aged women in their 30s, perhaps certainly 40s, maybe 50s. You know, you don't have the macho that you have to deal with the guys, and they basically listen to what you tell them. And when you are in the marina or anchorage, socially, it's a little less awkward to get invited to some of the events. So they've made the best crew members. Most of the crew, the issues I've had deal with food. You can't be a picky eater on a boat. It doesn't work. You have limited resources. You have limited water, limited fuel for stoves and so forth. Yet, a lot of these people come on to the boat with some weird ass, you know, Rastafarian organic vegetarian diet that they've just decided that they adopt. I've had people on boats that will only eat macaroni and cheese. I've had people that will only eat vegetables. I've had people that will not eat any vegetables. Spaghetti, but no red sauce. Spaghetti, but no white sauce. I mean, it's infuriating. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, my mother would put stuff on the table and what's for dinner? Well, there it is. You don't like it? Starve. You can't do this on a boat. My last crew, who arguably were actually pretty good, were aghast when I said, yep, we pretty much run out of fuel for the stove. You know, your 8 cups of tea every day have done us in. But what do you mean? How could we be out of fuel? Well, because you've used more fuel in a week than I do in a month. You can't continue to do this. Picky eaters are probably your biggest problem when dealing with crew members, and they can't be a picky eater. Now, at the same time, most of these crew members will tell you, oh yes, I can cook. Most of the time, I end up cooking, and most of the time, I end up cleaning up and doing dishes. These people don't cook. They're so tired after their 3-hour watch of helping you that, you know, they have to sleep the other 21 hours a day. It's unbelievable what these people do. So what can I tell you? And even the watches, you know, if your watch starts at 3 a.m., you're up at 2:30 using the bathroom, getting dressed, having your cup of coffee. You're not out there with your alarm buzzing at 3 a.m. That doesn't work, but yet that's the way it is. Costs. Everybody asks, what are the costs? Well, there are the select professional crew that want to be paid, which I guess if you're rich enough and these people are credentialed, great. For most of us, however, we're not going to pay you to be on a boat. I had one person that was, you know, she responds that I can't really remember who you are. I've been speaking to so many boats. I can't remember if you told me you were going to pay for my airline ticket to join you in Papua New Guinea. Well, no, I wasn't, babe. Sorry, not happening. See ya, goodbye. It's not unreasonable to share food expenses, but even that is a pain because, number one, these people are coming on your boat already, probably has a lot of food and stuff already on the boat. You would think you'd buy food and say in a crew of 3, you'd split it 3 ways. Nope. There's always somebody that's going to complain, well, you know, we bought a jar of peanut butter and I don't like to have peanut butter, so why should I have to pay my share of the peanut butter that I'm never going to eat? Give it up. I had one guy that decided that he was going to leave sooner than expected and wanted a refund on the money that he put in for his share of the food. When I said no, he then decided, well, then I'll take 1/3 of the food. You got to be kidding me. These are the backpackers. These are the crew that you're going to be out there with. Another thing to share is fuel, diesel, of which you probably already have a bunch on your boat. Petrol for the dinghy, and of course, fuel for the stove. Those are all fair game to want to share the costs. Marina fees. I share marina fees. Look it, you're a crew member. We're in a marina. Whether you're on the boat or not, we're going to split those costs. And that's always something that people complain about. Well, suppose I'm not on the boat. Well, you're still on the crew list. You're paying your share of the marina fees. In fact, keep in mind too that there is a legal distinction between crew and passengers that you should probably look up. Crew are on a crew list. As the captain, you're responsible for what they do until they're off your crew list. And one of the ways to get them off your crew list is you got to show the local authorities that they have an alternate way to depart the country. Like, here's a copy of their airline schedule or ticket. Other than that, you're kind of stuck with them. Let's see. Agent fees. If there's any agent that you used, we split those costs. If there are immigration and customs and biosecurity fees, it's fair to split those costs. If there are miscellaneous things like a fee to transit the Suez Canal or the Panama Canal, we split those costs. There shouldn't be any arguments on this, but yet there are. And what I'm now doing, and what a lot of the boats are doing, is charging a per day fee. I charge $20 per day for each day you're on the boat, in addition to all the other expenses we just spoke about. And I rationalize this by saying, well, I, of course, have to maintain the boat, fix things after you break them. So $20 a day is not unreasonable. You show me a hostel that's cheaper than $20 a day. You show me an airline ticket to, say, go from Auckland to Jakarta that would cost less than $20 a day. And if you could do that, maybe we can negotiate, but I doubt that you can. Again, it's all prefaced on the idea that these backpackers that make up the majority of potential crew think they're doing you a big favor by being on your boat, and as a consequence shouldn't have to pay for anything. But as I said, the reality is at least 2/3 of those people have turned out to be duds that you probably shouldn't have had. Yeah, what do you know? That is a boat out there. As I said, I haven't seen a boat in several days. Looks like a little fishing boat. Oh well. So there's my thoughts on crew. Again, in my opinion, middle-aged women tend to be the best. Have a frank discussion ahead of time on expectations. Have a frank discussion on fees. And if they start to quibble about the fees and quibble about the expectations, if they start to really just demand that they don't have to pay the $20 a day live aboard fee, then my suggestion is to just cut them loose and find somebody else. Otherwise, you'll end up with one of the 2/3 that became a pain. Again, hopefully some information for you. This is Tim on Everything. Till later.